What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another live video here on Skullman TV. And if you can see in the bubble, obviously you see I got my Gengar and I got obviously the wonderful Rotom screen. So obviously today we're doing a little bit of a screen recording. We have a bit of a leak slash rumor, whichever one you want to call it, to go over, and also we're gonna voice our opinions on what we think about, certain things that are coming up. About not certain things that are coming up, but about some of the leaks slash rumors that have been out there, and obviously including the one we're fixing to go over today. So, with all that being said, before we get into things, drop a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's get on with this. So, let's hop right into it. Let's see what we have here. So, it's a 4chan leak slash rumor. So, go ahead and obviously take it with a grain of salt. Any of this can be disproven at any time, but I'm only going to go over this because of my thoughts and opinions on this one. So, let's see. It says, okay, so here's the mega stuff. Hoopa opens two dimensions, the X dimension and the Y dimension. They are alternate versions of Lumiose from timelines where Team Flare, 1D, Xerneas, and Yveltal. The X timeline has kind of cyberpunk type feel to it, whereas the Y timeline is a bit post-apocalyptic. So, cyberpunk makes me think cyberpunk, and then when I hear apocalyptic, I'm thinking like Guzzlord style stuff, right? And then it says the dimensions have their own megas, but they can be brought back to the regular world. Zeraor and Volanion are regular mega evolutions. Do they mean Volcanion? Are regular mega evolutions encountered in the regular dimension. All the others are native to their respective dimensions. Obviously, I'm guessing they're talking about all these over here, because you can see a bunch of the different Pokemon that they're talking about in here. No Mega Hoopa, but the DLC does end with a huge battle against Unbound Hoopa. In both timelines, their cover legends has been supercharged to a state of Rogue Mega. Exorcist X, or Brioni Y, as the new leader of Flare, are opening ultra wormholes rampantly in search of a new Zygarde to rebalance their dying worlds. This is why Hoopa came, causing trouble in the original dimension, and also why these new rogue megas are wreaking havoc. There are no Z megas. It's implied that the base dimension of the game is the Z dimension already. All of the dimensional megas have the either X or Y suffix, even if it is their first and only mega. So, going over this portion of things, I'm gonna say, yeah, I think it would suck that we wouldn't get a new a Mega Hoopa, because there's potential you could do Mega Hoopa in either the base Hoopa or in the Unbound Hoopa, or do an X and Y variant of Hoopa, one that was more represented to Unbound, and one that's more represented to original Hoopa, but way stronger. And that would be awesome, and one could be obviously Psychic Ghost, and one could be Psychic Dark. Regardless, or it could both be a Hoopa Unbound, Mega Hoopa Unbound, or something where one X is, the Unbound actually represents the Unbound form, maybe with Hoopa's, not with Hoopa's original appearance or something, but Y Hoopa would be maybe regular Ghost Hoopa? I don't know. Either way, one's going to be, probably X would be Hoopa representing his base, his original with more of an Unbound feel, where maybe it's his base Hoopa where he's confined and he's also got a bunch of arms just like his Unbound form, and using a bunch of his portal rings, and maybe like a Hoopa Unbound where it's dark but it more represents truly his Unbound form, and it's actually a bound form. I don't know. There's a bunch of different ways that they could do with Hoopa. There's a bunch of different things that they could do with Hoopa, and it would make a lot of sense. But we're going to carry on with it. So, yeah, it would be a shame if they didn't do a Mega Hoopa, but I could understand why, because Mega Hoopa would be, obviously, as we just seen right there, a confusing state. But let's see what else they got. So, obviously, we see all the different forms. I'm going to squeeze myself back over here. All the different megas and stuff. Like, we see Mega Raichu, Xerneas Yveltal, so on and so forth. You can see the picture, but that's crazy. So let's see. Mega Xerneas X almost looks like a Christmas tree. Its blue becomes green, and it becomes much larger and shaggier, with its fairy lights all over its body, as well as its horn getting much larger and lighter. Mega Superior X gains Poison type with a college of dark green and purple leaves swirled around its body, as well as a long flickering tongue. Mega Samurott X gains the Steel type and has its shell turned silver and bronze, with the shell plates all over its body, and its beard turns longer and black. Mega Pheromosa X becomes covered in shiny gemstones of all colors, and its body turns to a pale blue color, but it looks very similar to the original. Mega Rhyperior X looks like a mountain with a giant lumbering body and a white head with two smaller drills above its big one. The rest of its body turns black and its plates become brick red. Mega Aurorus X is a full-blown dinosaur with its ice crystals grown into glacial icicles, as well as white patterns on its back and much longer frills that wrap around to cover its face. Mega Dragapult X gets much wider and much flatter, with a huge Dreepy launcher on its back and a Phantom Dracoloak launcher on each wrist. Very visually busy. I would honestly love that for Dragapult. Mega Musharna X grows long limbs and a bushy tail, with two plums of its pink smoke now flowing around either side of it. Its eyes are open and look like a galaxy. Mega Gogoat X just kind of gets bigger and bushier, with horn handles going all the way to its tail, and more exaggerated beard. The brown on it gets more yellowish. Mega Wishy-Washy X looks like a two-ringed Saturn with a spherical skull form in the middle, while two belts of solo form circles around it diagonally in the shape of an X. These belts can also break from circling and move like arms. Mega I might butcher this one. Mega Runiculus X gains Fighting type, with its body becoming a buff humanoid. It also has long tail, kind of like Cell from DBZ. We're going to touch back on this later because I got a few notes on it. One, I would love to see Mega Dragapult X. I think that would be amazing. I think a Mega Dragapult probably seems... I think any of these would be capable of getting a Mega, but Mega Dragapult seems like the most realistic thing that they would do with a Mega Evolution. But we'll get back to that in a little bit. Mega Yveltal Y turns dark midnight purple, with its black patterns and claws becoming white, its legs turning much smaller, while its mane expands like a smoke cloud behind it. Mega Typhlosion Y gains fighting type with its blue fur climbing up its underside to form the shape of a wrestling leotard. It also gets gloves and boots made of fire, while its whole head becomes blue. Mega Slowking Y's head shell grows massive, with its body stumbling and swaying around to try and stay upright. Its ruff swaps red for blue, and it extends down onto a long cloak like a grad gown. I'm not sure what that is. Mega Buzzwole Y gets more swole, brightening to a very vibrant shade of red. Its wings get bigger, and it charges on all fours. Mega Mamoswan Y gets big, dark, with tall back and tufts of hair over its eyes, resembling Paloswan's tusks curled fore back in a golden color. Mega Tyrantrum Y gets way bigger, and its spiked crown grows really far back, with jagged orange stones lining its body. Mega Komodo Y gains blue scales in addition to its red scales, with a second tail, now with one red and one blue, which is used to make music while fighting. It fights with scales. Its right fist scales, is huge in blue. The left is huge in red. It overall stands more upright. Mega Graplo Y gains electric and turns into a tornado of tentacles with its blue head popping out at the top. Some of the tentacles are all yellow with spikes flying around them. Mega Helioisk Y swaps normal for fire, with its orange frills growing into huge solar flares and its head turning all red and angry. The cowl, hands, feet, and tail tips go from gray to molten with a glowing texture like the nose on Operation. Mega Meteor Y loses flying type and becomes a giant crashed meteor with a stream of color course erupting from it like a geyser that spreads into two directions to form a Y shape. Mega Gothitelle Y gains fairy type with white trim being added to its dress, which grows much taller. The black and purple parts swap colors. So, going into these megas, I'm going to say between the two X, some of these Mega X's, I could see them. Okay, maybe Mega Xerneas, maybe Mega Dragapult, Mega Mashorner, a little bit, and so maybe Mega Samurott, maybe even Roniculus, but some of these other ones, I just like. I'm not saying everything on this list, but some of the ones on the list, I can definitely see maybe not getting one. Maybe even Samurott's kind of a back and forth. You could see him. You could see it not getting a Mega. Mega Superior maybe might get one, might not get one. I will say this: some of the Megas that we have, if with the obviously with the leaks saying that we're gonna get the 3 Megas from for Chikorita, Totodile, and obviously Tepig, right? So we're gonna get their final evolutions and get them Megas. It would make sense for them to give like Superior, Samurott, Typhlosion, even, all of them. It would make sense to give them all Megas. And I could see them going that direction into the Mega dimension and saying, oh, well, we just opened up portals and it became, it launched different Megas, which I'm sure that is exactly what they're going to do. I'm sure it is exactly what they're going to do. But do I see all of these specific Pokemon, like every last one, like Wishy-Washy? Um, I'm not going to degrade or down on Wishy-Washy and say, oh man, Wishy-Washy definitely shouldn't get a Mega, or it definitely isn't capable of getting a Mega. But do I see them actually giving Wishy-Washy, or maybe, you know, or some, Wishy-Washy, or some of these, um, even Pheromosa, the specific Ultra Beasts and stuff. Do I see them giving any of them actual Megas? Probably not. Probably not. And Mega Dragapult, as much as I'd love to see him, as much as it would make sense for that to be a Mega, that look to be a Mega, I am not 100% certain that Dragapult would get a Mega, because we don't even know that they're going to introduce anything from the Galar region into Pokemon, besides from the little bit of stuff that we have got, and all that with the Mega Leaks. So, and even with the Mega Leaks, some of these we haven't seen them officially confirmed. They're practically confirmed because of the fact that, obviously we just got Victory Bell, we got Dragonite, we got a lot of Pokemon from that leak confirmed, so it wouldn't make sense that most likely all of them are going to be confirmed. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they are confirmed, because they could scrap those at any given moment and say, hey, well, we never released that these were official, and then delete them from existence. Or it null and voids the entirety of that list, or of the rest of the list, and we don't get Chandelure, we don't get Frostlass, we don't get any of the other ones that we would have gotten, or that we are supposed to be getting, right? It could be as simple as the Victory Bell and some of those, but that obviously makes no sense, because we do know some of these Pokemon characters that we're going to face have partners such as Staryu, and so on and so forth, and we just have not seen all of them revealed and all of them fully shown off and getting their partner Pokemon's Mega Evolving, right? So I'm not going to say that we aren't going to get that, but I'm not going to say that we 100% are going to get it. It's more like a 99, we're about 99, 97% sure we're going to get that entire list, Frostlass, Chandelure, and all of the rest. It's been pretty much confirmed at this point that we are going to get it, with the little bit that did get revealed. So, moving on, we're going to go to the Z Dimension stuff, part of the leak, where it's nothing but story. So, they go to say the true villain of the DLC is Celosia. The outcomes of the X and Y dimension are her doing. She's the one who awakened Hoopa and started chaos in those dimensions. After playing through both of the dimensions, this is when she reveals herself and her plan, admitting that it's seemingly been a failure. She unleashes a mega boss gauntlet on you, starting with Diancie. Then there's Mega Volcanion, which kind of looks like Two-Face from Batman. Half of it is blue and smooth with a ripping special effect, while the other half is red and jagged with a heat wave special effect. Every turn it alternates between being mono fire and mono water, which decides which special effect is active. Then there's a Megazord, which gains fighting type. Its fur becomes blue, while its whiskers and pads become yellow. Additionally, the gray patterns on its hands and legs extend into surging golden lightning bolts, as do its eyes, making it look like it's wearing sunglasses. After the gauntlet, that would be awesome actually. After this gauntlet, Mabel shows up to confront her former partner, healing you before you're forced into a battle with her. Her ace is confined Hoopa, but after you win the fight, it shatters out of its ball and goes rogue, blasting Mabel and Celosia into unknown dimensions before warping you and itself into another one. You battle Unbound Hoopa in an endless rainbow void, with it able to summon Megas and Ultra Beasts from its rings to aid it if you don't defeat it fast enough. After catching it, you all return to Prism Tower, where Celosia apologizes and is apprehended by Looker. You can freely explore the X and Y dimension after this, which is how you can find their Mega Stones, as well as Mewtwo and Delates in X dimension, and the Weather Trio in the Y dimension. So, with all that being said, that's it. We're a lot of this seems story-wise, a lot of this seems like it would make sense, right? It would make sense for Pokemon to do something of this caliber. It makes a lot of sense for them to go and do something wild and crazy just like this. The only reason for some of these Pokemon, like I would even get why they would do the two Megas the two Ultra Beasts that they're doing, but it would still make more sense, even though, because I get that, they're kind of the main ones that were exclusive for Sun and Moon, but it would still make sense for them to give a little bit more, if they're going to go to Ultra Beast route, where it's releasing Ultra Beasts and stuff like that, for us to get more Ultra Beasts. But also, one could argue, obviously the same about Legendaries, but we're more known that, hey, usually the box art Legendaries usually have their significant box arts where they have certain Megas from those two box arts, right? And some of this makes sense for different reasons than the others make sense, right? And that's why I say, story-wise, this feels right. It feels like it makes sense, and obviously they could introduce way more Megas. Way more Ultra Beasts with Megas. Yeah, way more Megas, because they're stating the rumor is, or the leaks that are going around, is that we're supposed to get a second DLC, not just one, but more DLCs. I don't know how many, if we're gonna get like way more, but it's definitely, they're trying to state that it's confirmed that we're most likely going to get, at least at bare minimum, two DLCs. But how true that is, we don't know, honestly, because honestly it could just be this one DLC and that's it. And if they did do a second DLC, it would make more sense for them to do this DLC based on Hoopa and have Hoopa get its own Mega, or Megas focusing on mythicals such as Hoopa, Cresselia, Darkrai, so on and so forth, and a select amount of, regular Pokemon, just like this leak is showing, such as Dragapult, Raichu, Volcanion, Zeraora, even Wishy-Washy, and the rest of the starters. So that would make sense. But, some of the X Pokemon here make sense. Some of the Y Pokemon here make sense for the Megas. And, going back to that, I will state this. Also, once again, some of them don't make sense, once again, for the same reason. If we are going to get an additional DLC, it would make more sense for it to be Hoopa's time to shine, give Hoopa a Mega, instead of him not getting a Mega, or the fact that you wouldn't give him a Mega and would just introduce more Mega Pokemon like Raichu, like obviously we're getting Raichu, maybe some of the Pokemon on this list, and introduce us to a different DLC that's coming later that would be specifically for Xerneas and Yveltal, where Xerneas and Yveltal would get their significant megas in that DLC, and that would make way more sense. But it would still it also makes sense that they would do it here because of Hoopa and dimensional travel. It's kind of a crazy field because introducing dimensional travel because of Hoopa can pull out a bunch of stuff. But one could also argue that Hoopa befriends you, and that leads into the next DLC, where Hoopa is going to allow you to go to the X dimension of Lumio City, or the Y dimension of Lumio City, where they can introduce even more megas and even more experiences or travels through Lumio and battles and stuff through Lumio City, where maybe we go back to the past or to the old days, to the original X and Y series of games, and that is the Lumios we go to. Because we do know in this one we're supposed to be going to essentially something called Hyperspace Lumios. What that's going to mean, we are not sure of yet. And I know a lot of us, I hear a lot of you out there, we want Mega Flygon, even Mega Rotom, so on and so forth. And you know what? That's crazy. If we get a Mega Rotom or a Mega Aegislash or Mega Flygon, that is absolutely wild. That would be crazy. What would they do for Mega Rotom? Could be all the appliances combined, kind of a kind of Zord kind of thing. It could be just an overwhelming amount of electricity where maybe his whole body is just plasma and there's barely the face of Rotom. Maybe they have the phone in the middle. I don't know. It could be a bunch of different things that they could do with a Mega Rotom. There's a bunch of different things they could do with a Mega Aegislash. There's a bunch of different things they could do with a Mega Dragapult. There's a bunch of different things they could do with a Mega Flygon. Same goes for any other Pokemon out there. And some of the new Mega Stones hinting that we're going to get some of those Pokemon is absolutely awesome, and I think that'll be great. But there's also the possibility that some of those Mega Stones that we've seen in the Mega Dimension trailer, those could have easily been, obviously, just the leaked Pokemon that we haven't had revealed yet, who are getting Mega who are getting Mega Evolutions, and we know about those, such as Frostlash, Chandelure, and Scraggy, and so on and so forth. Some of those we know are getting Mega Evolutions, and some people have humored the fact that is just that is what we're getting, and that's it. And that's most likely probably the fact, but it still makes more sense for them to have a lot of different, a lot more megas coming in. And there were some other Megastones that we could barely make out in that trailer. So where the Megastones we can make out, most likely, yes, they are just the Megastones of the Pokemon that have Mega Evolutions that either have been revealed or have not been revealed yet, that were part of the leak. And such as Victory Bell, Dragonite, so on and so forth as well. And a lot of the other stuff is that they're the access ones that look like ones that we've seen in the past. Those probably also are just saying, hey, we are giving you new megas, but this is confirming those megas from the leak, essentially, right? And that makes a lot more sense than, hey, this means we're gonna get Mega Flygon. This means we're gonna get this Mega that you wanted for so long. This means we're gonna get Mega Rotom. This means we're gonna get that Mega, so on and so forth. But we already know that Mega Dimension is, with the confirmation of Mega Raichu, we know that we're most likely going to get new Megas besides from what has been leaked. Because Mega Raichu, X and Y, though they were not in the leak at all, they were not part of any of that. So it would make sense to say, yes, we're probably going to get all the ones that were leaked. Starmie, Frostlash, Chandelure, Scraggy, so on and so forth, or Scrafty, so on and so forth, for the base game. And then all those different Megas that we saw, those Megastones or they're going to be Megastones that we didn't see, or that we didn't recognize, that are also going to be portions that we don't recognize. And those are going to be ones that were not leaked, which are like the Mega Raichus. And those are probably further into the portal, and they just stopped the portal at Mega Raichu so we could see Mega Raichu. And no, that does not disconfirm Mega Flygon. I'm sure Pokemon is listening, the Pokemon Company is listening, and hopefully, there's going to be a Mega Flygon. It's highly recommended. It's been highly recommended for a long time that everybody gets Mega Flygon. So most likely, hopefully, crossing the fingers for everybody out there who is a Flygon fan. I'm not personally a Flygon fan. I'm more of a Rotom, Frostlash, Chandelure kind of fan. But, and obviously Dragapult, but crossing our fingers that Mega Flygon is going to be part of it. And hopefully we do get some more Mega Ghost Pokemon. That would be awesome. Even if it's just Aegislash. Or any other Pokemon. Psychic Pokemon. We could see more Mega Psychic Pokemon to kind of compete with Mega Gengar and so on and so forth. And Waters and Fires and even Dark-type. I feel like we don't have too many Mega Dark-type. What, we got Mawile and Sableye, and that's what about it. But seeing more Pokemon getting Mega Evolutions, regardless of who they are, is going to be absolutely amazing. And that means, guess what? All 1,000 Pokemon are up for grabs. Any of the thousands of Pokemon that we have out there, any of the 1,000 Pokemon we have out there so far, well, I guess continuing, because, technically the new ones, Petrarunt and them, count too, but any of those Pokemon, any of the Pokemon that we've had in the past, any of them can get a doggone Mega Evolution right now. And that would be great. I mean, come on, you guys, imagine like a Mega, even the likes of a Mega Mimikyu. I doubt it's going to happen. Could it happen? Possibly, maybe in a different game, like maybe a Lola, but it would still, something like Mega Mimikyu, or even like what Mega Braviary would be absolutely amazing. And those would be some crazy megas for everybody out there to see and grab a hold of. And even your favorite Pokemon, whatever that may be, to get a mega. No matter which generation it is, there's a possibility out there, especially when introducing Hoopa into the mix in different dimensions. Any of these Pokemon could get a Mega. We don't know what they're doing with Legends ZA. We don't know what all we know is some of the leaks are stating that we're going to get some Pokemon even out to Paldea or Galar. And that's crazy. That is not something we expected at all. So, as far as this goes, this is most likely, this is one of the more realistic Mega rumors that I've seen out there. That's why I'm going over it. Could it still be false? Oh, 100%. It probably is 100% fake. But the concept is very, very interesting and hits a little close to home with some of the stuff that I feel like Pokemon would do. So whereas this is most likely fake, and or the Pokemon leaks for Megas is most likely fake. I think this is going to be really close to something that we may see for the DLC. This is the kind of DLC I think it's going to be. Something big just like this, with new story, DLC story, and obviously DLC Megas being integrated, and something big involving Hoopa to give Hoopa his final shine in the spotlight, and not some Alpha and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire shenanigan like we had in the last DLC that involved around Hoopa. With that being said, you guys, I'm going to get off here. But let me know in the comments section below what you think about this. How do you feel about this leak? Do you feel like it's going to be good? Do you feel like it's going to be bad? Do you feel like this is more leak territory or rumor territory? And what do you think about some of the Pokemon on this list getting Mega Evolutions? But also, more importantly, let me know what your favorite Pokemon is and what Pokemon you want to see get a doggone Mega Evolution in the game. Because, once again, everybody's Pokemon's up for grabs. Anybody's favorite Pokemon is up for grabs to get a Mega. We don't know who's going to get a Mega at this point. The DLC means so much more to come. So, keep it lit, you guys. Keep it hype. And keep on doing what you love. I'll see y'all in the next lit video.